Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel Math with Mrs.o. I'm Ophelia Orate, principal owner of a school, a math teacher, and an author of 21 books. Please don't forget to subscribe down there. Before we start, our lesson for today is solving quadratic equations by factoring. We know too well, recall that an equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, c are real numbers and a, of course, cannot be 0, are quadratic equations. Now, how do we solve them? As you can see, we cannot solve them by just using transposition or properties of equality. So, now, we have to recall our factoring. Problem number 1. How do we solve for the solution set of x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0? Remember that in factoring simple quadratic equations like this, you look for factors of negative 7, which when added will give you the middle term, which is 6. Repeat. We find factors of negative 7, which when added will give us 6. Let us say you try 7 or negative 7 plus 1. Is negative 7 times 1 equal to negative 7? Yes. Yes. But is negative 7 plus 1 equal to 6? No. No. Because it is equal to negative 6. So this will not work. Try another one. Other factors of 7. We can have 7 and negative 1. Okay, let's try. If we multiply 7 times negative 1, do you get a negative 7? Yes. And if you add 7 plus negative 1, do you get a 6? Yes. Therefore, we can now use this. So, the factors of x squared plus 6x minus 7 are x plus 7 times x minus 1 equals 0. You can also try by doing the FOIL the long way, like x times x is x squared, x times negative 1 is negative 1x, 7 times x is 7x, add them you get 6x, which is the middle term, 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. You can do it the long way also. But I didn't write here because we already are sure of the factors here. So, now, that this factor times this factor equal to 0, we can now apply the zero product theorem. The zero product theorem tells us that AB equals 0 if and only if A equals 0 or b equals 0. See? Meaning to say, if one of the factors is 0, then the product is already equal to 0. So applying the zero product theorem there, so we can now have x plus 7 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. Solve for x by transposing 7 to the other side. X is negative 7 or x is equal to 1. There are your answers. So always remember the zero product theorem. If a product is equal to 0, then one of the factors is equal to 0. Now let's proceed to number 2. I need this space, so let me erase this now. In problem number 2, we can transpose 12 to the other side, thus having a minus 12 here. Oh, and then we use the AC test. Remember, this is your A, B, C. In the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, the coefficient of x squared is a, the coefficient of x here is b, and the coefficient or the constant is c. So AC test, multiply A and C. Your A is 2 times your C is negative 12. Multiply them, we get negative 24. Now, find factors of negative 24 which when added will give you a 5. Okay. Let us say the first thing that came into your mind were 12 times negative 2. Let's check. 12 times negative 2, is it negative 24? Yes. But 12 plus negative 2, is it 5? No. So this is not correct. Try another one. Factors of negative 24 which when added will give you a 5. We can try 8 times negative 3. 8 times negative 3, will that give you a negative 24? Yes. 8 plus negative 3, does that give you a 5? Yes. Therefore, these are your factors. So now, rewrite 5x. Copy 2x squared, rewrite 5x using these factors. So we have here, this becomes now 8x plus negative 3x. Remember, 8x plus negative 3x is 5x. Copy negative 12 is equal to 0. Repeat. Copy this, rewrite this using the factors here. 8x plus negative 3x minus 12, copy negative 12 equals 0. Now, group the first two and the last two. Then, factor out the GCF. So the greatest common factor is 2 and 8 gives you a 2, x squared and x. Factor it out. 2x squared divided by 2x is x plus 8x divided by 2x is 4. Oh, you can always check by multiplying, going back. X times 2x, that's 2x squared. 4 times 2x, that is 8x. You do the same thing here. What is the GCF of this? 3 and negative 12, that gives us 3, negative 3 as a GCF. So negative 3x divided by negative 3 is x. Negative 12 divided by negative 3 is positive 4. Equals 0. Go back. Check. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Now, what do you see here? Do you see a common factor again? Yes. Which is x plus 4. Is common to this and to this. So factor out again x plus 4. There. This whole thing divided by x plus 4 gives you a 2x. Plus this whole thing divided by x plus 4 gives you a negative 3. There. Equals 0. Then by the zero product theorem, if two factors is equal to 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0. Equate x plus 4 equals 0 or 2x plus negative 3 or minus 3 equals 0. This is the same as 2x minus 3. So, transpose x to the other side, you get negative 4 or 2x equals positive 3. Then, isolate x, divide both sides by 2, cancel 2, x is equal to 3 halves. There you have it. X equals 3 halves or x equals negative 2. Now, let's take a look at problem number 3. There are only two terms here. If we transpose 9 to the other side, we will be getting 4x squared minus 9 equals 0. And then, you learned in your previous lessons that when you have two terms only, and they are a difference of a square and a square, you have a difference of two squares. Or this is difference of two squares. And you learn that if you have a difference of two squares, like if a squared is minus b squared is given, you know that this is a plus b times a minus b. There. Always remember that. Whenever you have two terms, and then the sign at the middle is a minus, and then this is a square and a square, difference of two squares. So immediately apply the factors a plus b times a minus b. So what are the factors here now? Isn't this the square of 2x? 2 squared is 4x squared. And the square of 3. So you have a difference of two squares here. Now that you have a difference of two squares, we know that the factors are 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3 equals 0. Apply the zero product theorem again. So 2x plus 3 equals 0, or 2x minus 3 equals 0. Then solve for x. 2x equals negative 3. Here, transpose 3 to the other side. Divide by 2. There. So x is equal to negative 3 halves. Or the other side, 2x is equal to, this is negative 3. When you transpose it to the other side, it becomes 3. Divide by 2. There, cancel this. So x is equal to 3 halves. So x equals negative 3 halves, or x is equal to 3 halves. Now let's proceed to problem number 4. As you have observed here, I have given you different cases of problems involving solving quadratic equations by factoring. Now, in problem number 4, the right side is not equal to 0. If the right side is not equal to 0, you cannot apply the zero product theorem. Make sure that the zero product theorem can be applied only if the right side or one side is equal to 0. So we have to simplify this first before we apply factoring. So let's do it the long way, or the FOIL. 2x times 3x gives us 6x squared. Then 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. There, so this gives us 6x squared plus 9 minus 2 is 7x minus 3. That is the answer for the product of this. And then it is equal to 14. Remember, 14x rather. There, we just put this down. So transpose 14x, so 6x squared plus 7x. There, transpose it here, minus 14x minus 3 equals 0. But these are like terms, so add them. 7x minus 14x gives us negative 7x minus 3 equals 0. It is now simplified in the form ax squared plus bx plus c was 0. So now, apply the AC test. Multiply 6 times negative 3, we get negative 18. Find factors of negative 18 which, when added, will give you negative 7. Let's say you try 6 times 3, 1 is negative. Negative 6 times 3 is negative 18, but when you add them, do you get a negative 7? No. No. We'll try another one. So we get negative 9 times positive 2. Negative 9 times positive 2, is that negative 18? Yes. Again, let's try here. Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18? Yes. Yes, yes, you. Okay. And then, negative 9 plus 2 is that negative 7? Yes. So these are our factors. So now, we rewrite the middle term, negative 7x, as negative 9x plus 2x. Copy this, 6x squared. Copy negative 3. Repeat. Copy 6x squared. Negative 7x is equal to negative 9x plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Then, we group these 2 and these 2. Factor out the greatest common factor. 6 and 9. What do you get? 3. This is x squared, this is x, so x. So 3x is the greatest common factor. 6x squared divided by 3x is 2x minus 9 divided by 3 gives you a 3, or x divided by x is 1. Check again. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. It is better that you check to make sure that you don't get wrong after that. What about 2x minus 3? Is there a common factor? Yes, but it is 1. So we just copy it down here. 2x minus 3 equals 0. Now, what do you observe about this term and this? There is a common factor, or 2x minus 3 is common to both. Therefore, factor out 2x minus 3 there. 3x times 2x minus 3 divided by 2x minus 3 gives you a 3x plus, that is plus, 2x minus 3 divided by itself is 1 equals 0. So here, yay! The right side is now equal to 0. So can we now apply the zero product theorem? Yes. If A times B equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0. So 2x minus 3 equals 0, or 3x plus 1 equals 0. Now this is easy. 2x equals transpose 3. Divide both sides by 2. I'm doing it faster now because this is already the fourth example. There, x equals 3 halves, or 3x equals negative 1, transpose 1 to the other side. To isolate x, divide both sides by 3, you cancel the 3, you get 1x, or x is equal to negative 1/3. There. The answer is x equals 3 halves, or x equals negative 1/3. Would you like to know if your answers are correct? Very simple. All you have to do is to substitute these values in the original equation, and if the left side will be equal to the right side, then your answers are correct. You can do it mentally. I hope I was able to help you. As we end, we always remember to add kindness, subtract judgment, multiply understanding equals Mrs. O's good life equation. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button. Bye!